Good afternoon. I'm Lyle Korber, General Manager of Northwest REC, and this afternoon I have the opportunity to visit with Carlin Breddy. She's a senior at Lamar's Galen here in Lamar's, and she was our youth tour representative last summer and had the opportunity to go on the trip to Washington, D.C. Carlin, could you share a couple of highlights that you had from your trip last summer?
Of course. So some of the cool things we got to do in DC is we saw lots of monuments, memorials. Some of the big ones that obviously stood out to me are like the Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial, all those kinds of things you kind of see on TV. And just when you see them in real life, though, it changes things for you. You can just kind of feel the history behind it. It kind of made me feel kind of small sitting next to them, but you just realize that you're part of something bigger.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Another cool thing that we got to do is we rode around on paddle boats in the tidal basin. I did not know that was going to happen until we got there. So
On the Potomac? There.
Yeah, right. And then another thing is probably the Holocaust Museum. That was cool. That's something I would recommend everybody go to at least once in their lifetime, whether they're part of youth tour or not. So
Great, awesome. We're going to be selecting a couple of juniors in high school for this upcoming youth tour, and that always happens in the month of June. And our juniors in high school that are sons or daughters of members of Northwest REC
Right.
have the opportunity to apply just like what you did, and we'll be selecting a couple. And so wondered if you could share any advice that you might have for those kids that are thinking about applying for this.
Right, okay, so I would say just be completely honest in your essay when you do write it. Really let them know why you think you would love to be on the trip, why you think you deserve it, why they should consider you. So just put it all out there, be very honest with them. People can see through when people aren't completely genuine in essays, I think. And then another thing would be to not procrastinate it, and to do it in the first place. One of the reasons it took me forever to apply, I kind of applied at the last minute, is because I was like, I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna go to Washington D.C. Like, who gets a free all expense paid trip to Washington D.C. like that? I had never heard of that happening before, except for I guess my dad. But besides that,
That's right. He was a
right.
youth tour winner.
My dad was actually on the youth tour when
Awesome.
he was a kid too. So yeah, I would say just you might as well try. Like, you never know what's going to happen, so go for it. You're going to learn a lot about cooperatives and your country and all those kinds of things, and have an amazing experience. So
Very good. We also wanted to congratulate you. You were selected as the Iowa Youth Leadership Council representative. Each of the states selects a student, and I think there were 35 youth tour participants from Iowa, and you were selected to be on the Youth Leadership Council, so I think you went back to Washington, D.C.
Right.
And so congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
That's a great honor, and you'll also have an opportunity to participate at the NRECA annual meeting coming up at the end of February. You want to share maybe what you think you might be doing involved with that?
Right. So when we went back to Washington D.C. The next month after youth tour, it was about learning about the cooperative model, other business models, and having leadership training and things like that. But this next month, actually in February, we're going to go to Nashville, and at that NRECA annual meeting, we're going to be representing our states during the opening and closing of the meeting. And we're actually going to be, I think we're going to be helping out with some odd jobs that have to do with the NRECA and that annual meeting. And we're actually going to be participating in doing some service projects. So all of those, we're going to probably see a couple fun things too. So yeah,
That'll be a
it'll
great
good.
experience. So there'll be, I think there's, 46 or 47
I
students?
think
I don't think
47,
every
I
state
wanna
has
say.
a,
Yeah, we were missing a couple states, but I mean, Alaska and Hawaii are both represented. So.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm sure you've met some great friends.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. That was a highlight I didn't mention is when you go on youth tour, and then if you do happen to make YLC, this Youth Leadership Council, you meet people from all over the country. I have friends in every corner of the country now, so that's really cool. I can chat with somebody from Alaska, and then chat with somebody from Arkansas the next day, and just have help with applications and interviews and things like that. So, yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you, Carlin. You've been a great representative on the youth tour for
Thank you.
representing Northwest REC, and We look forward to seeing you in Nashville, and I'm sure you'll have a great experience. So great
I'm sure I
job.
will too.
Thank you.